Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome to my spring series. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. For our first DIY, we're using an old cereal box. You can use poster board if you want to. I just like to recycle. And I'm cutting it in the shape of an envelope. I made an envelope in a few videos back, and it was a big hit, and I thought it would be super cute for a tiered tray, so that's what we're doing. And it's a simple procedure. You just measure out these shapes here so they fit nice and evenly, and then you paint them. And if you're using white poster board, you can skip the painting part. I just think the painting part makes it look a little bit like wood grain, so it adds some more charm. And I lightly sanded the edges, painted both sides, and then there's that free printable there, which will be provided down below in my description box, which I printed up on tissue paper. Super easy to do. You just tape it on cardstock, put it through your printer like you normally would, and voila, you have a print. For this piece, I just used regular old computer paper and printed up some pink stripes. And so I'm using the glue stick for all of this envelope here because it leaves less bubbles and wrinkles. And I wanted to create a side on either of this, on either side of the envelope, like a little pocket. The small craft sticks were too small, and so I just trimmed a little bit off the edge of the larger craft sticks, and I'm gluing them on the side of the envelope. And you'll see now we have two nice little sides right there. Now I noticed the center was kind of dipping in just a little bit. Maybe I'm being picky, but I used a little bit more wood from the craft stick that I cut, and I just glued it and put it up in the center. You can't see it, but it held the envelope nice and open. To create the bottom, I'm just using a large craft stick. I wanted this to definitely have like a stand for a base, so it didn't have to be perfect, and I knew it would tip if it was too small, so I just kept it the same size. And now I'm going to fill my little envelope up with greenery. Now I decide afterwards that the edges would look better distressed, so I probably should have waited to put the greenery in afterwards, but either way works. So I'm just using a furniture pen from the Dollar Tree. This is my new to-go-to for distressing. It does a really beautiful job, and it's fast and easy to do. And that's it. I love how this came out. Let me know what you guys think. I found these tags at Walmart for 98 cents each. They're little gift tags. They're pretty easy to find now in crafting sections all year round. If you don't have any, you could easily make them out of craft sticks. Just glue a bunch of them together vertically and then hold them together with a horizontal craft stick that's smaller in the back or the front, and cut the top to look like a tag and drill a little hole through the top. I've done it in previous videos and it works brilliantly, so that it actually has a really cute look like shiplap. So here's some free printables that I got from the Graphics Fairy, but I kind of changed them up to make them my own by making them a little bit more pastel, so they will be a free printable down below as well. And you can always go check out thegraphicsfairy.com, and she's got some beautiful free printables there too. I'm using a glue stick to apply this, and now I'm taking a little bit of the Burnt Umber paint by Apple Barrel, and I'm just going to distress the edges of the tag. I'm also taking and just going around the edges and adding a little shadow here and there and just making them look a little vintage. And I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue at the top there and a lace ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, 50% off, and place it at the top and just kind of move the little tails around strategically so I can fit the boxwood underneath it, and so it doesn't get in the way and cover up the boxwood completely. You can use a little hot glue if you need to and just tack down the ribbon, and I'm going to do that on both of them, of course. And that's it for a little bit of greenery. Next, I'm going to take one of the towering blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using these as a stand, but I'm leaning the tags back at an angle. I don't know if you can tell. It's at a slight angle so that you can see the image better when it's on the tiered tray. And that's it. And I love the way that these came out. Again, let me know what you think down below in the comments. I found this cute little sign at Hobby Lobby. It was only 79 cents, so it beats the Dollar Tree. Be sure to check out Hobby Lobby's clearance aisle, you guys. The signs are beating the Dollar Tree now. And there's a free printable again right there, a super cute bunny. For this one, I printed it up on cardstock because I do want it to be really hardy. I'm also going to seal the top of it with Mod Podge and glue it down with Mod Podge for the same reason. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just gluing it down with the Mod Podge, and now I'm going to apply a top layer of Mod Podge. I put 2 coats of Mod Podge on it all together, and when it's dry, I'm taking that furniture pen again and doing a light distressing around the edge. That's it. This is a simple DIY, and I think it came up so cute. The pens are also more like a stain. When you use your finger, and you'll see me do it here in a minute to smear it, it has that sticky feeling, more like a wood stain would, and it gives it a really, really neat look on the edges for distressing, which you don't quite get with paint or with a marker, but I really love the way this came out. And again, let me know what you think. For this next craft, you're going to need craft sticks. And I just started off by measuring and cutting. We're going to be making a crate, and it's pretty self-explanatory when you watch me do it. You need 3 for the sides and 3 for the ends, cut appropriately to whatever measurement or size that you decide you want for your tiered tray. I'm making a little tiny one. Last year, I made a lot of eggs. For those of you that follow my channel, you may have noticed that we had a lot of really, really pretty Easter egg DIYs for your tiered tray, and I wanted to challenge myself this year and try to make different decor things that we could add to those other things on our tiered tray. So again, I printed these eggs up on tissue paper, my favorite way of transferring at the moment. To me, it beats the Cricut, and I do have a Cricut, by the way. I just don't use it because I know a lot of you guys don't have one. And of course, it's so much more fun when you can participate, and I know you can participate, so I really try to do that for you. So I just use a glue stick, super easy to do. You can barely see it on the wood. And now I'm just going about making the side of my crate. And as you'll notice here, I am using 4 towering blocks from the Dollar Tree to kind of hold this little crate all together. For the bottom, I'm going to use 2 jumbo craft sticks that you get from Walmart. I just cut them down to create a nice little bottom for the crate as well. For those of you that are wondering, I'm just using regular old hot glue. In fact, these hot glue sticks are from the Dollar Tree. I picked them up in a pinch, and for little tiny crafts like this that are real dainty, they work just fine. This next DIY using craft sticks are some of my most favorite things to do with craft sticks because it really is sky's the limit. You can make little tiny mini signs, rustic signs, farmhouse signs, high-end signs, whatever you want using the craft sticks. And I think they're so cute for tiered trays. So today we're going to make a little cute sign, and you can see I just cut up the center to make the post. Then I cut one of the large craft sticks jagged around the edges on purpose to make it look broken and old, like you would see a sign outside. And I always like to do my letters first with pencil just to make sure they're balanced and they look decent. And now I'm taking a permanent marker in black. This is a Dollar Tree permanent marker, and I'm going to write Cottontail Farm and then draw a little arrow, and that's going to be what our sign says this year for Easter. Now I'm just lightly dry brushing some chalk paint on the top to distress it. This is actually homemade chalk paint. I'm just using a container from some chalk paint I owned before. And if you want to check out my video on that, I have 2 good videos that show you how to make very affordable, really nice quality chalk paint. And here's the furniture marker again, and I'm going to go ahead and go around the edge, and this bleeds into raw wood, so it also gives it like a streaky look. It looks really, really good for distressing. And then I'm just going to use it to color the post because it is tiny, so it looks perfect for that as well. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to color in the bottom a little bit more because I didn't like the way there was a little bit more wood left right there. And now I'm using 2 of the towering blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue this sign in between the 2 towering blocks. And now, using some of the Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue some of that on the base to cover the base up. I wasn't looking to cover it up completely, just mostly in the front. And I took advantage of the broken pieces of moss, as you can see, and I just put a little glue on the front, squished it down on the broken pieces, and it worked great. Here's a really fun, cheap, easy tiered tray decor idea. A cheap candle from the Dollar Tree, a cute festive label, and some Mod Podge is all you need to have a super cute decorative tiered tray decor piece. I'm just using the tissue paper again, Mod Podging it down. You can even use dishwasher Mod Podge if you want this to be a little more durable. And I'm using some of the Dollar Tree lace on the top. I have seen things like this sell in boutiques at resort areas for $5 to $7, and for about $1.50 you have a super cute accent piece for your tiered tray. And this next one is another one of my personal favorites. It never gets old to me. I love doing these, and they're perfect for tiered tray decor. So I'm taking 6 of the towering blocks and gluing them together in rows of 3, and then I glued those 2 together, and I made 2 sets of those and glued them on top of each other. And now I made this, again, free printable down below as a book cover. We're making a book, you guys, and I usually do the traditional stacks of 3 books with little words on the side or binders, but I thought it would be fun to do something different and change it up and just make a really thick just one book. So I thought this would be a cute cover, and I'm painting the sides now with some white paint, and then I'm going to take some pencil and just lightly draw faux book pages on. And if you could see, I'm kind of like gently floating my pencil over it and scribbling it a little bit. It kind of makes it look a little blurry, and it looks more realistic like book pages instead of just doing harsh lines. So that worked out really well. And I'm taking some lace from the Hobby Lobby, gluing it on the top, and then some velvet bow I got on clearance from Walmart. That was only 78 cents. It's super cute. It's like a dusty rose. And I decide that the other end needs the lace ribbon too, so I add some more so it's nice and even on the bottom. Plus the book wasn't sitting straight, but that's it. And I love this DIY. this next DIY, I'm using a cereal box again, and I'm tracing out the shape of a bunny that I just Googled online. You can Google bunny silhouettes online and you'll have lots and lots of choices to choose from. I chose this one, and I'm just adding a little bit of Mod Podge and gluing some pink material down on the top that I got off of Amazon. I got a really good deal. And again, all of the supplies I use in this video, the boxwood, everything that I get good deals on, I do supply the links down below in my description box if I think it's worthwhile for you guys. So, you can go and look at that too and see if you're interested. Now, while that was drying, I thought it would be fun to see what would happen if I took this bunny silhouette and wrapped it up like I did with the Valentine's Day hearts, just to see if that would work. This is what you end up with, and that would also be cute inside the little, I'm making like a little nativity or a little house, or it can be used like a nativity set too, just a little shape of a house out of craft sticks, and I'm going to be putting the bunny inside it. And in the end, I decide the pink one would be better, so I cut the pink one out. And as you can see, I just glued 4 large craft sticks together and held it together with a large craft stick at the bottom, and measured with my bunny to make sure that he wasn't going to be too tall or too big for this, and then just cut the top in a triangle shape. And then I'm cutting the edge of the, it's kind of self-explanatory what I'm doing here. You can see I'm just cutting everything off. So all we're left with is this triangle shape here that's held together, and it's held together with the stick in the back, the craft stick, and I decide it needs another brace at the top when we're all done. I glue that on. I sand everything to make it nice and smooth, and now we're going to put some sides on this. So now I'm using the jumbo craft sticks from Walmart, and I cut those down because we're creating like a little window box house, I guess. And this would make a cute nativity like at Christmas time, or even Easter if you wanted to put a cross in it. I didn't think of it at the time, but that would actually be really cute. I'm just doing it with the bunny because I don't really have very many bunny things on my tiered tray at the moment, so we're going with the bunny. And I'm just using, again, hot glue from the Dollar Tree. Really impressed. This is the first time I've used it, and everything held together really well. It's still holding together. It's in the kitchen on the counter, so it is exposed to steam and stuff from cooking, and so far everything is holding together really, really well. And I'm just gluing the sides on. I'm going to glue a little rooftop on, and I'm going to glue a little bottom on. Now I do reinforce it, as you can see, in the back along the seams everywhere with hot glue, just to make sure it sticks together. And I do, I just wiped it with my finger there. That might have scared some of you, but for those of you, first of all, I've been working with hot glue for many, many, many years, so I have really tough skin. And secondly, I did have the glue gun down on low, and if you've worked with hot glue a lot, you can do that and it doesn't hurt. You can use your finger, but it needs to be on low. I can even do it on high sometimes, depending on what brand glue gun I'm using. Some of them get way too hot, but anyway, as you saw, I went ahead and distressed the bunny with that furniture pen around the edges and added a little lace bow. And now I'm painting this little box white, and we're going to glue that bunny in the center of it, just like that. And adding some hot glue at the bottom and some more Spanish moss, we're going to put that at the base. Add a couple of Dollar Tree little cream of flowers, and voila! You've just created a super cute tiered tray decor piece that literally costs pennies on the dollar. I found these super cute hearts at the Dollar Tree during Valentine's Day, and since I'm trying to do some different decor outside of Easter eggs, I thought these would be perfect. I start by taking them apart and giving them one coat of my white chalk paint. I didn't have any super glue, so I was worried about the hot glue, but here's the good news. This is Dollar Tree hot glue and it worked perfect. It totally held this together tight enough. I mean, if you want to pry it open, you could force it apart, but these are decorative pieces. I'm not going to be doing that. And it was a very sturdy hold, so that was nice. After I glue them together, it does need a second coat, so I go ahead and give each one a second coat of white chalk paint. So I took these little watercolor bunnies I found last year online, changed them up a little bit, and applied them to the hearts using my glue stick, just like this. And my first thought was to do pink polka dots. I thought it would look so cute, and I was so unhappy with the result. And unfortunately, because they were polka dots, they were kind of lumpy, so even when I painted over this heart, you still could see it. So I ended up throwing that one away, but that's okay. 3 were enough. I salvaged 3, and I ended up going with a much better idea. I took the color Nutmeg from Apple Barrel Paint, and I did some dry brushing really lightly around the edge there to give it a frame, and then I took a Q-tip and just went and edged around the photos as well to give them some dimension and distressing, and just cover the edges of the tissue paper and make the whole thing blend in a little bit better. And this is what we have so far. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Dollar Tree lace ribbon. As you can see, I've made 3 bows out of the lace ribbon, and using the Dollar Tree twine, I've made 3 bows out of the twine, and I'm going to glue the lace bow on first. Then I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of fire there to burn off any stray hairs, cut it down a little bit and glue the twine bow on, and then using some roses from another Dollar Tree craft. These roses are actually, they're from a heart sign from the Dollar Tree, and it looked really cheap and awful. So I tore them off because I knew I could use them for another DIY, and they came in 3 different colors, but we just glue the roses on the center and we have beautiful tiered tray decor. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and thank you to all of you that leave comments on my videos. That really is the best part of YouTube, is reading your comments. I love you guys so much. And of course, until the next one, breathe deep, fret not, and do things that make you happy.